population in the Philippines has grown significantly. The demand for basic commodities, which the demand for fish, both for food consumption and other uses, has increased prospectively. The increased population, coupled with the improved fishing technology, brought stress to the country's marine and coastal ecosystems, thereby affecting the fishery resources. Such environmental issues in the fisheries sector includes overfishing, destructive fishing or illegal fishing, siltation, and pollution. Thus, the whole fishery resources has become vulnerable to misuse and abuse. Poverty in the fisheries sector is attributable to low productivity of aquatic resources brought about by degradation, stock depletion, and resource use conflict in the coastal waters. With regards to this, conservation and protection should be crucial in order to improve the productivity for the fishery resources. Moreover, there are socio-economic issues of poverty in the coastal areas and policy issues including the need for strong fisheries regulation and enforcement.
Philippine Fisheries Code of 1998 or Republic Act 8550 is an act providing for the development, management, and conservation of fisheries and aquatic resources, integrating all laws pertinent thereto and for other purposes. This act also governing law in the Philippine fisheries to address the interconnected issues of resource, degradation, and unrelenting poverty among municipal fishers. It calls for management of fishery and aquatic resources in a manner that is consistent with the concept of an integrated coastal area management in a specific natural management fishery areas. The code also support and protect municipal fishermen's rights, particularly when it comes to the preferred use of municipal water. It also requires the government to promote the general welfare of municipal fishermen by providing support services and employing fair labor practices. The Philippine Congress passed the Fisheries Code on February 19, 1998, and the Office of the President ratified it on February 25, 1998. It has 9 chapters, including provisions for fisheries and aquatic resource utilization, management, development, conservation and allocation, reconstitution of the Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources, and creation of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources Management Councils, research and development.
Code makes provision for the management and conservation of fisheries and aquaculture in the Philippines, and the constitution or establishment of fisheries is institutional both national and local level. The text consists of 133 sections which are divided into 8 chapters. Chapter 1 declares the policy of the state with respect of fisheries and contains a large definition section. It has a declared policy to limit access to the fishery and aquatic resources of the Philippines for the exclusive use and enjoyment of all citizens, including women and youth sectors. Another principle of policy is the protection of municipal fishermen. Fishery and aquatic resources shall be managed in a manner consistent with the concept of integrated coastal area management. To achieve food security as the primary priority in the usage management, development, conservation, and preservation of fishing resources in order to meet the population food demands. A flexible strategy aimed to achieving food security must be implemented in response to change in fish population patterns, new trends in fish and other aquatic products trade in domestic and international markets, and the law of supply and demand. Also is to restrict access to the Philippine fisheries and aquatic resources for the sole use and pleasure of the Filipino nationals. To define the rights of fishermen, particularly those from local communities with preference given to municipal fishermen in the usage of municipal waters. Thus, preferential use shall be based on but not limited to maximum sustainable yield or total allowable catch, which based on resources and ecological circumstances and be compatible with our international treaty and agreement commitments. To support the fishing industry, particularly municipal folk, including women and youth sectors, via sustainable technology and research, enough finance, production, post-harvest facility development, marketing aid and other services, municipal fishermen's protection against foreign incursion must extend to offshore fishing areas. Fishermen must be compensated fairly for their efforts in the use of marine and fisheries resources.
What are the things encouraged in Republic Act 8550? So, first, to achieve food security as the overriding consideration in the utilization, management, development, conservation, and protection of fishery resources in order to provide the food needs of the population. A flexible policy towards the attainment of food security shall be adopted in response to changes in demographic trends for fish, emerging trends in the trade of fish and other aquatic products in domestic and international markets, and the law of supply and demand. Second, to limit access to the fishery and aquatic resources of the Philippines for the exclusive use and enjoyment of Filipino citizens. Third, to ensure the rational and sustainable development, management, and conservation of the fishery and aquatic resources in Philippine waters, including the exclusive economic zone, and in the adjacent high seas, consistent with the primordial objective of maintaining a sound ecological balance, protecting and enhancing the quality of the environment. Fourth, to protect the rights of fisher folk, especially of the local communities, and priority to municipal fisher folk. In the preferential use the municipal waters, such preferential use shall be based on but not limited to maximum sustainable yield or total allowance catch on the basis of resources and ecological conditions, and shall be consistent with our commitments under international treaties and agreement. So, fifth, to provide support to the fisheries sector, primarily to municipal fisherfolk, including women and youth sectors, through appropriate technology and research, adequate financial, product construction of post-harvest facilities, marketing assistance, and other services.
Programs implemented to achieve the objective of the law.
Ensure the logical and sustainable development, administration, and conservation of the fishery and aquatic resources, including the exclusive economic zone. to give support to the fisheries sector, mostly to the municipal fisherfolk, to appropriate technology and research, adequate financial, production, construction of post-harvest facilities, marketing assistance, and other services. To limit access to the fishery and aquatic resources. To grant the private sector the license to utilize fishery resources under the basic concept that the guarantee, licensee, or permittee thereof shall not only be a privileged beneficiary of the state, but also active participant and partner of the government in the sustainable development, management, conservation, and protection of the fishery and aquatic resources of the country.
So these are the salient features of amended Republic Act 8550, otherwise known as the Philippine Fisheries Code of 1998. The first one is reportorial requirements. Commercial fishing vessels are required to keep a daily record of fish catch, spoilage, fishing effort, and other information on catch and disposal, which should follow the form of a catch documentation system by the Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources. And then, monitoring, control, and surveillance system. Municipal, commercial, and distant water fishing vessels required to comply the vessel monitoring measures must have VMS to track and monitor the position, course, and speed of the vessels at any given time for managing fishing effort and traceability. Next is citizen suit. It promotes the citizens' right to participate in decision-making, enhance civil and political rights, and ensure implementation of the law. Fourth is strategic lawsuit against public participation. It enforces the citizens who push for fishery reforms can use the SLAP or the strategic lawsuit against public participation in cases filed to purposely harass, chill, or vex them. And then additional prohibited acts. 21 new prohibited acts including unregulated and unreported fishing. Existing prohibited acts were also expanded or modified. And the last one is harsher penalties for violations. Fines could reach up to 90 million for unreported fishing. Penalties for unauthorized fishing is fine up to 10,000 pesos only, and classification of catch and gears.
Republic Act Number 8550, or also known Philippine Fisheries Code of 1998. Fines and penalties. A person or a corporation who violate this act's provision shall suffer penalty 2 years to 10 years imprisonment and fine not less than 100,000 to 500,000 pesos, or both such fine as imprisonment at the discretion of the court.